Hey guys, long time no see and hello again, Tigers. Sana kaya niyo kami samahan as we go along and talk about all the trending topics for today. And join us on the last episode this semester. But before I forget, I'm Sofia Dallas,
And I'm Hans Galeria. Come on over and join.
the Bandwagon.
Given that the pandemic is currently existing, even as of now, a lot of people find ways para mapasaya yung sarili nila. Kasi syempre, alam naman natin na we all discourage everyone to go out and of course, stay at home as much as possible. That's why we try to find ways na hindi natin makakalang magagawa natin bago dumating yung pandemic. And at the same time, this goes the same way for all of the brands and companies that we do support and love at the same time. Gaya na lang ng Apple na nabalitaan kung may bago silang feature device which is the Apple AirTags.
Wow, talaga namang ang daming exclusive offers ng Apple nowadays considering it's a pandemic. And a lot of people are diverting talaga into this online business na sinasabi natin na a lot of, let's say, tech companies are diverting into technology kasi most of us are on our phones and on our gadgets as well. Pero I'm very curious kasi ang dami na nating, let's say, devices when it comes to Apple. Meron tayong iPhone, Apple Watch, mapa AirPods pa yan, di ba? Ang dami talagang
Yeah.
features ng pagdating sa Apple. Pero I want to ask, ano yung Apple AirTags and paano siya gumagana?
Okay, syempre marami nga talagang mga gamit or bagay or products ang Apple. Pero at the same time, Apple AirTags simply works in just a few steps. So you just remove it from the box and take it off the plastic para masigurado mo talaga na gumagana siya. Now, once you hear like a simple beep lang, that will signify na dapat mo na siyang i-connect through a Bluetooth feature on your phone. And then after that, you just attach it to an item na talagang gusto mo or important to you or to your family. And then that's it. You're done.
Wow, talaga namang easy. Ang easy lang pala no, ng pag-set up ng Apple AirTags in one single beat. Gumagana na agad. Pero what is the main function of it? Ano ba siya? Music ba siya? Or tracker ba siya? Or anything else? What is the function of Apple AirTags?
Alam mo, it's kind of similar to a tracker gaya ng sinabi mo kanina because the function of AirTags is to locate your items. I was supposed to say all, pero only the specific item na talagang nilagay mo yung AirTags mo. Even if you're not connected to first, the internet, and then second is Bluetooth. Actually, so meron pa nga to yung yung straps na pwede mong ilagay doon mismo sa gamit na mahalaga talaga sa'yo na ayaw mong mawala or gusto mo na nahanap mo kaagad. Well, it does come out or it does sold separately, pero at the same time, I think it's a very beneficial thing for you to have.
Maybe that's the fun thing talaga with Apple. Ang dami nilang accessories that comes along with it, which makes you more interested when it comes to Apple products. Pero dahil sa mga sinasabi mo ngayon, Hans, parang gusto sold out na ako. Parang gustong-gusto ko na bumili ng Apple AirTags. Pero ito ang golden question para sa Apple AirTags mo. Available na nga ba ito sa Philippines?
Okay. My golden answer to that is yes and no. Bakit? Kasi yes, available na siya sa Philippines. No, kasi hindi pa siya available sa mga stores or physical stores nationwide. It is only available on online stores. So guys, if talagang gusto niyo nang makabili, gusto niyo nang mahanap lahat ng mga hindi niyo pa nahahanap before ng mga gamit niyo sa bahay, sa trabaho nyo, make sure to go to Apple's website right now as you are watching this episode para makabili at maka-avail na kayo as soon as possible. But are you still wondering or are you still curious on how AirTags will be helpful in the Philippine setting as well as the other aspects about it? Now, I sat down with Mr. Gabriel Manera, one of the contributors of Gadget Match, to find it all out for each and every one of you today.
I first heard about the release of the AirTags, it was more of like a relief because it has been rumored for 2 years prior to the release. So we've all been expecting for Apple to catch up with the competition like the Tile tags and the Samsung Smart tags. So, yung initial thoughts ko talaga was, this is a perfect device for Apple users. Because Apple and its ecosystem, as we all know, it works perfectly side by side. It basically works, kung paano siya internationally. So, it will work the same whatever country you are. So, pero in the Philippine setting, I do believe that it's the most helpful because we have a lot of mode of transportations. Diba? We have the jeepneys, we have the FX, we have the trains, taxis, Grab. So the special thing about the AirTags is because once it's connected to your phone, it's going to link to your phone wherever you go. And once that you disconnect to the Bluetooth connection, it's going to alert you immediately that you might have left something behind or you lost connection with the device. You might want to double check your things. So it's going to give you like this whole system. So it will inform you if you're actually with your items or not. In the Philippine setting, though I have found a statistic online that only 12.6 or 12.9% of the population here in the Philippines, they own Apple products. Now, why is this important? Because if you are out of range with the AirTag and the item that is attached to it, if you're not with it, so syempre wala kang connection, you don't have the proper location. You will only have the last location where you last connected to it, diba? It is IP67 water and dust resistant. So it means like you can submerge the AirTags for 1 meter underwater for 30 minutes. Also, I do have fun facts. You know, this is not what everyone knows. You can enjoy the full specs or the full experience of the AirTags if you have the iPhone 11 and up. So basically what I'm trying to say is if you have the iPhone XS and lower, you're really not going to feel the full experience. And here's why. Back in 2019, Apple released an ultra-wideband called the U1 chip. Now, what does this do? It actually helps iPhones do precision locations. So it's going to be different based on user interface. So what does it mean? If you are using the AirTags, and for example, the iPhone 12 Pro, if you are about 20 meters away from the AirTag, it's going to change, like the screen is going to change. It's going to go all green, and then it's going to give you an arrow to give you the precise location of your AirTag. And it's going to show you like if you're 30 feet away. Now, I don't know if you can change the distance, the indicator from feet to inches, but that's what I know. And if you're using the iPhone XS Max and lower, you're only going to be able to track your AirTags via the built-in Maps app in the phone. So there's like a downside, but yun nga, medyo dated ang style pagdating sa 10S and down kasi you're not really going to get the arrow to show you what direction to go. I do have one more thing then to add. No?
Okay.
This is something really impressive kasi Apple, diba, they're very closed. They're closed sa system nila. So as much as possible, they don't want yung Android or Microsoft to actually pair with these devices, no? So for example, yung AirTag, yun nga, naiwan mo siya sa isang location. If an Android user, basta meron kang NFC or which is called near field communication, once that they tap into the AirTag, it's going to show them a website and all of your details are there. So kahit hindi Apple user, an Android user can actually help you rin. Yeah, kasi once na you activate Lost Mode, yun nga, you have the option to place your details, yung phone number mo, and your email or a personal message. So it's really helpful. So ano talaga, really, it's a treat to have it na at least also people who are not using iPhones can help you find your phone.
Thank you so much to Mr. Gabriel Manera dahil sa kanyang time na nilaan niya para for our Tomasians out there who's really interested pagdating sa Apple and AirTags. And like me, siguro sobrang excited na kayo guys to get your hands on to this new product of Apple. Pero speaking of new product talaga, Hans, no? Kasi ngayon, may new product na si Twitter, which is Twitter Spaces. If you're not familiar with Twitter Spaces, para siyang audio platform of Twitter. Kasi siguro masyado tayong naging familiar when it comes to tweeting. Pero now, new age and new time during the pandemic, nirelease si Twitter ang Twitter Spaces, Hans.
Oh, so I think it's more of like a podcast type where you hear a lot of voices and then people can join you. Nakarinig na rin ako sa kanya like a couple of times before. Pero can you elaborate more on what Twitter Space is?
Okay. So, Twitter Spaces is actually a live audio conversation in Twitter. Kasi during this time of pandemic, diba, we all want to talk to somebody, we want to reach out to somebody, we want to have conversations on a daily living. Kaya naman, Twitter implemented this new application on their application, katulad ng flits na you already can see on Instagram as well. And ngayon, meron na rin flits on Twitter. Kaya naman, all around in all the spaces na talaga si Twitter has.
Natuwa ako dun sa application on an application. May wordplay ka dun, Sofia. Gusto ko yun. Pero why is it implemented in the first place? Like, ano bang plano nila with it?
You know, when Twitter Spaces was implemented in December 2020, a lot of people were really curious about it. Kasi, ano nga ba tong Twitter Spaces? Kasi sa Twitter, I think a lot of people are really parang we're enough na sa tweet, ganyan, we're happy now with this. Pero nilabas ng Twitter and Twitter Spaces around January 2021 for beta test. And marami na ngayon, if you have more than 600 followers, you already have a Twitter Space. Kaya naman, they implemented this for people to have more connections during the time of the pandemic.
Ang cool, no? Like, more connections for people who do meet the specific amount of followers na kailangan. So, I'm kind of sold with this idea. So, how does it work then?
So, first off, may dalawang options para gumana ang Twitter Spaces kasi you can't have just one option, guys. First, you have to long press on the compose button kasi for sure, lahat tayo familiar na sa compose button when we tweet and then tap the new spaces icon on the left. Or kung ngayon naman sa compose button, it's already on your profile picture or display picture and scroll lang kayo sa tweet and you can see na mag-create or mag-compose na kayo ng Twitter Spaces, Hans.
Oh, interesting. So it kind of means na you can invite a lot of people to talk with, have a conversation, share your thoughts. Alam mo yun, meron din natang emoji feature to eh. Kung maaalala ko lang dun sa sinabi mo sa akin ng isang araw. Tama ba?
Tama yan, Hans, kasi ang dami talagang feature ng Twitter, no? Parang yung development team talaga nila ngayon, parang up and running during the time of the pandemic. Pero alam mo ba, meron ding speaker permission when it comes to Twitter Spaces. Na kahit audience ka pero alam mo ba, only 11 people are allowed to talk during Twitter Spaces. Pero meron tayong speaker permission if you wanna ask something to the, let's say, panel or people on the stages of Twitter. Pero ito unlimited ang viewers ng Twitter Spaces. Kaya naman mapa 10,000 man yung followers mo or 50,000 ang viewers mo mahigit. You can definitely watch someone na nag-stream on their Twitter Spaces.
Ang ganda nung feature in my opinion. Kasi parang you're gonna be listening to a whole conversation of 11 people and at the same time, pwede kang magbigay ng sarili mong insights once permitted to do so, which is a really, really good feature in my opinion. So I think I'm sold about this one. So feeling ko marami talagang gagamit nito in the future.
And that's true. Kasi ang Twitter Spaces talaga, kanina ko pa sinasabi, super excited na talaga, lalo ng mga Tomasians natin out there. Kung gusto mo makipag-chikahan sa mga friends nyo, or makipag-usap sa mga malalayan nating siblings out there, and you want a particular conversation to happen on Twitter, Twitter Spaces is up to go because the future is now. And speaking of future is now, alam mo ba, Hans, pwede ka nang mag-invest sa GCash? Alam mo ba to?
Hindi. Hindi ko alam yan kasi ang alam ko lang, 'di ba, ginagamit mo ang GCash para magbayad ng kailangan mo, magbayad ng bills, magbayad sa Lazada at saka sa Shopee. Hindi ko naman alam kung ano yung ba't na-invest? Ano ba yung invest concept sa GCash?
Kasi kung, alam mo, curious na rin talaga ako eh. Kasi if you're curious like me and you want to know more about investing in GCash and how to do it and how it works, Rico sat down with the founder of Money Health Check and licensed financial advisor. Alam mo ba, sobrang sikat niya sa TikTok and I know you guys know her as well. Come on and welcome Miss Antonette Aquino.
Hi, Miss Antonette. I'm very stoked na finally I'll be interviewing you because pinapanood ko yung mga videos mo sa TikTok about money, investment. Hindi tayo naniniwala kay Jessie J na it's not about the money, money, money because it's all about the money, 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 right?
True.
So yeah, so we'll be talking about GCash and investment. So let's go to the first question. Paano ba? How to start investing pagdating sa GCash?
Right. Okay. So first, let's address the misconception about how investing is just for the rich. Actually, misconception ko din yan before, even when I started because I started investing when I was around 17 years old. And when we think of investing, we think of high-powered Wall Street bets. Alam mo yung tipong may millions at their disposal when we watch finance movies like Wolf of Wall Street or The Big Short. But actually, when it comes to investing, you don't have to be smart. You just have to be consistent. And what's great about an app like GCash is that it offers an investment platform with a low barrier of entry, meaning to say, you can start for as low as 50 pesos for local funds and then 1,000 pesos for international funds. And, it really is a game changer because when you invest into UITFs, through banks, normally yung starting capital niya is around 10K, minsan pa nga 50K. So now that they lowered the barrier of entry, a lot of Filipinos can now start investing, even for as low as 50 pesos. Yung 50 pesos, what do you usually spend with that? I don't know, mga milk tea or may milk tea ba na 50 pesos? Parang wala. Siguro nga pagkain, ganun, diba? Yung mga savers meal sa Jollibee. So, that 50 pesos could go into an asset that could start working hard for you.
So, how does investment in GCash work? I mean, paano nag-grow yung money mo pag nilagay mo sa GCash investment?
Okay. So, GCash is the e-wallet, and it's the first ever e-wallet that offers an investment platform wherein you can choose an investment fund that suits your goals, your risk appetite, tsaka yung time horizon mo. So what happens is, dati kasi yung invest money, it was called invest money before, and it only had the money market fund, which is a type of fund wherein you get to invest into securities like time deposits, bank accounts, very conservative, very liit lang talaga yung kita doon. So now they released funds, both locally and internationally, wherein, let's say, they released kasi around 5 funds already. So do you want to start talking about the 5 funds or do you want to start with the intro talaga of what G-Invest is all about?
Yeah, I think start tayo dun sa 5 funds para we have an idea kung saan ba pwede talaga mag-invest in a big scale.
Okay. So as I've mentioned, there's the money market fund where you get to invest into time deposits. It yields you about an interest rate of 0.6, which is higher than what traditional bank accounts will give you, which is around 0.25%. So it's just a place for you to park your cash if, let's say, you're not gonna touch it for 2 to 3 years, mga ganon. There's also what we call the Philippine Total Return Bond Fund. So yung bonds in itself, it's basically IOUs or utang ng gobyerno or the corporations. What happens is you lend money to the government and then in exchange, they'll pay you back with some interest on top of it. So that's how you earn through bonds. So it's very conservative as well. So it won't give you as high of returns because, again, pag low risk yung fund, then low return din siya. But if, let's say, you want to go a little bit more aggressive or the moderate type, then you can go for the index fund, or if I remember correctly, it's the Philippine Smart Equity Index Fund. So yung index fund na to, this focuses on tracking the Philippine Stock Exchange Index or the top 30 businesses in the Philippines. So you know them. It's Ayala Land, SM Prime Holdings, Jollibee, diba? Yung mga top 30 companies. And what's great about that is it just focuses on the top 30, meaning to say it recalibrates every 6 years. So what happens every 6 years is that PSE removes companies in the top 30 that aren't meeting the criteria. So you can be safe with an index fund because it just focuses on the blue chip companies. But if let's say you want to go a little bit more aggressive, you want higher returns, then meron din yung consumer trends funds or the global consumer trends funds to be exact. So this type of fund focuses on investing in companies wherein you get to, own a piece of company from Shopee, yung mga Alibaba, Amazon. So whenever their company grows, then you also get to benefit from that as well. Also have what we call my favorite fund, which is the Technology Feeder Fund. So it invests in companies like Apple, Samsung, Alphabet, and Alphabet owns YouTube. So meaning to say, instead of consuming YouTube, diba, every day, you actually get to benefit from the growth of YouTube. So that's exactly how you earn through the funds. It's when you invest into a piece of company, when you invest in bonds, when you invest in time deposits, when it grows, then you also benefit from that as well. You earn through interest rates and you earn through dividends.
Pagdating sa GCash, so anong scheme nila? So paano mag-grow ang money pagdating sa GCash?
To put it simply, you gain through capital appreciation and number 2, dividends. Those are the 2 ways you earn from UITFs because the funds from GInvest are called Unit Investment Trust Funds. Ang ibig sabihin, it's different from directly investing in the stock market through a brokerage account. When you invest in a mutual fund, it's like you're in a bus along with other passengers. Right? So your job is just to give money to the driver and trust that he's going to take you to the destination. And how it works is your money is pooled in with the other investors from the fund and it's being invested into, like I've mentioned earlier, global stocks, tech stocks, local funds. That's how you earn.
Speaking of advantage na mababa na with 50 pesos you can invest na. So generally, what are the other advantages of GInvest when compared to other platforms of investment?
Investing in GInvest, to be specific, gives you the advantage of having an improved portfolio diversification. Meaning to say, you get to choose from the 5 funds, from the most conservative to the aggressive, diba? So meron conservative, meron din moderate risk, and meron din aggressive risk funds. So you get to choose a fund that matches your risk appetite. So if I'm conservative, then I'd go for either the money market or either to the bond fund. If I want to be more aggressive, then I go for the technology feeder, consumer, or the index fund. Now, GInvest definitely made it easier for Filipinos to start investing into global stocks. You don't need to line up for papers. You just need to have the app and you need to have a fully verified account for you to be able to start buying stocks from global markets. So yan yung advantage doon, which other platforms do not provide, because GCash is the only e-wallet that has the investment feature. So the second advantage would be convenience. I'm sure some of you are also using GCash for your day-to-day transactions. I use it for my day-to-day transactions. Now, during the new normal, I hardly use cash now. So it's good that you can use the money that you have in your GCash app to buy investment funds. It's just that easy. And what I would always say is that GInvest offers convenience for Filipinos.
Yung return of investment, lagi silang interested pagdating sa return of investment. Sino bang hindi? So, is it good? Malaki ba yung ROI ng GInvest or depende pa rin dun sa specifics na binigay ninyo kanina?
The ROI will depend on, number 1, your size of capital, how much money you put in. Number 2, your time horizon. And number 3, your choice of fund. So it's difficult to give a straight or a direct answer to that because I don't know kung ano yung profile niyo as an investor. So I can't determine if this type of investment fund will be the best choice for you. And that's why it's very important that you assess your risk appetite. And number two, alam mo yung mga goals mo when it comes to investing. Hindi yung mag-invest ka lang because gusto mo kumita ng pera. Diba? Kailangan you have an end goal in mind. Investing is like, that's why it's called an investment vehicle, because it's supposed to take you to your destination. Now, in terms of returns, again, just because you've seen a projection on the app itself, yung mga future projection, it does not guarantee that past performance does not guarantee future performance. Anyone who tells you that ROIs or interest rates are guaranteed, it's most likely a scam. I mean, fund managers can say it's more or less going to be like this, but no one can actually predict where the market will go.
Speaking of risk appetite, so gaano kalaki ang risk pagdating sa GCash? Or is it safer than the other forms of money investment?
When it comes to risk appetite, it is a important factor because you have to choose investments that will make you sleep at night. Because as much as I advocate stock investing, not everyone can stomach like the ups and downs of the markets. So that's why there are people who opt for mutual funds like the one in G-Invest, because what happens is you transfer the risk to the fund managers. There are professional fund managers from the Atram Corporation that will think about the technicals of the market. Yan yung when to buy, how many to sell. They'll think about it kasi yun yung livelihood nila. Your job is just to put money in the fund. And that's why it's considered, like I've mentioned, like a bus. It's slower than driving a car, but it's safer.
What are your tips and recommendations for us students na gustong mag-invest?
So I guess the first one, learn how to make money first. You have to establish your financial foundation first. So hindi yung porket may pera ka mag-i-invest na ka agad. So number one, you have to think about how to create a stable source of income. So you need to learn how to handle your finances. This is learning how to save, diba? Iwasan yung mga utang, yung mga bad liabilities, and learning how to track your expenses. After that, build your emergency fund and then invest. Another tip that I would do is be more aggressive. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of people start with conservative investments, yung mga money market funds. Pero sayang you're still in your early 20s, so you have the unfair advantage of taking more risks because mas mahaba pa yung time horizon mo. So when it comes to investing, time is your best ally, it's your best friend.
Wow, talaga namang ang daming insight ni Miss Antonette when it comes to GCash dahil hindi lang pala available ang GCash when it comes to paying bills, but you can also invest as well. At isa dyan sa mga naalala kong quote ni Miss Antonette is, time is your best ally and it is also your best friend. Kaya naman sa ating mga young Tomasians out there, mag-invest na kayo if you want dahil ang dami talaga nating natutunan when it comes to Miss Antonette Aquino. Diba, Hans?
Right, that is definitely right. Again, guys, you get to reap all the benefits that you sow over time whenever you invest. So wag niyong kakalimutan na i-follow si Miss Antonette sa lahat ng kanyang mga social media accounts, right? So,
Totoo yan. And if you want to follow Miss Antonette Aquino on TikTok, and I'm pretty sure you guys have seen her on your For You page or FYP and na-favorite niyo na agad ang kanyang mga financial advice, you can follow her on TikTok at Antonette Aquino _ and on Instagram at Antonette Aquino. And of course, you can also ask for financial advice on Facebook at Money Health Check Community, and you can join their group on Facebook.
ayan, medyo hindi ko muna bibitawan tong sign na to kasi ito yung payaman mindset na sinasabi ni Kong TV. Pero anyway, guys, you make sure that you guys will follow every social media account that Miss Antonette has, including the Facebook group page that she's currently in. But I guess that is all the time that we have left for this episode. Again, maraming salamat po sa lahat ng ating mga Tomasians and non-Tomasians that supported from our first to the last episode. Again, we thank you and we hope to see you all in the next semester. Now, for the final time this semester, this is Hans Galleria.
I am Rico Gomez.
And for the final time as well, guys, I'm Sofia Dallas. Thank you again for joining the Bandwagon. And I want to thank you to our production team as well for being patient with us, from our executive producer, Jose, To our production staff, this show wouldn't be possible without you, and of course, our two Mafin viewers as well. So for the last time, with that, remember to stay woke, know what's popping, and don't forget to hop on the bandwagon.